All right, Cancer, welcome to your weekly sidereal forecast for May 18th through the 24th. My name is Athen. So let's look at your chart. So right at the beginning of the week on Monday, we've got a new moon taking place right on the cusp between your 10th house and your 11th house. Now, you already had a new moon in your 10th house last month, and so there was perhaps a lot of things relating to work or the public side of things, the career side of things, for the last lunar cycle. But now you get another new moon in the 10th house, but it's a little bit different. It has more to do with the 11th house, first of all, because you already have a lot of this activity here, and because the new moon is happening right on the cusp between these two houses. So this next lunar cycle and on Monday, it's this fresh start to the week with the new moon energy. It's always a time of receptivity where the energies are lower, and it's a time we want to be reflecting on. And so what you want to be reflecting on in this early part of the week is relating to the career stuff, right? Same kind of thing, but more so with perhaps the satisfaction you get from the career stuff, or maybe the contribution that you give, the service that you give, or perhaps how to network more. All these things relating to the 11th house, it's second from the 10th. So it has more to do with the fruits that you derive from your work, which is sometimes, the income, it's sometimes the satisfaction, and because, giving is the ultimate satisfaction that we derive from our work. And so it can be relating to those things, but maybe also networking as well, which could also support that. So you can see all these things relating to the 11th. It could just have to do with friends and network circles and, again, giving back to the community or the world at large in some way through maybe work, but maybe not. So whatever that is for you, again, the new moon, it's a time where we're not exactly, well, you Cancerians can see it more than anybody, what these new moons are. Because your ruler, the moon, has the sun right next to it, so you have that illumination. But usually it's a time of receptivity and just going with the flow because it's a time of change. And as the changes happen this week, early part of the week, then the moon starts to gain more of that sun energy and it becomes much more energetic. So definitely reflect around that time. It is a very reflective week in general. We've got Mercury going retrograde here on Monday and Tuesday in that 11th house. So for the next few weeks, you're going to be reflecting on and thinking about these these groups or the network or whatever those 11th house matters are for you. And so you've already had Mars and Mercury here, so I think you've been thinking about it. I think you've been very motivated by it. So now rethink about it, redo it. Not that it's about redoing, but it might just be willing to treat this part of your life as a learning process. Be willing to also go into experiences. So if you've been thinking about maybe contacting some friends or getting involved with networking or doing something community related, for example, do it, because during a Mercury retrograde, that's what we want to do. We want to learn. We want to get involved, and it's through that experience that we gain the most information and knowledge about that when he's retrograde. So then when he goes direct, you can then apply it and you'll have learned a lot about these 11th house things, which are, of course, very, very important elements of life. So, but in the early part of the week, just pause for a second, reflect on it, because he will be stationed. Then Thursday and Friday, the moon will start to fill up energy, and we do have some important aspects. Venus is going to be opposing up to Pluto Thursday and Friday. So here again, it's this balancing act, right? And there's this patience too. But in this sense, there's this healthy sense of restructuring that's taking place this week or needs to take place. Venus, who's been in your 12th house, has been helping you connect to the tranquil side of life. Perhaps you've been enjoying the rest, the relaxation, getting plenty of sleep, connecting to God or the universe, however you see that. And it's been a tranquil time where you can enjoy that tranquil time at the very least. So whether you've been doing it or not, I still definitely recommend, while Venus is here, to enjoy these 12th house behind the scenes tranquil spiritual energies. But on Thursday and Friday, with this opposition up to Pluto, be willing to make any changes and restructure anything in that 12th house. So whatever that is for you. And the key here is that, first of all, the 12th house is very, very nebulous. It's very behind the scenes. A lot of this might be just happening through dream space. But the key here is that Pluto's been restructuring your routine, restructuring your health, your diet, your day-to-day activities. And so get the rest, get the relaxation, but balance that with the day-to-day stuff that perhaps you're involved with. And if there's any changes that you need to make, be willing to make those changes, especially Thursday and Friday. And I think that will help free up a lot more of this energy here, which will allow you to have perhaps some more time to get the meditative thing going on, to have more presence in what you're doing and more time out and more more relaxation. So it's probably something relating to that, but the key is just be willing to restructure and change anything relating to specifically this 12th house. Now, Friday and Saturday, we have the Sun opposing up to Saturn. So again, you can see this week is very much about this patience. That's what Saturn's all about: patience, determinism, and hard work. And he's been in your 5th house, so perhaps with your guys' self-expression and enjoyment of life, there's been this kind of serious connotation to it, which is Saturn. Saturn in the 5th is kind of a serious energy to work with, because it's like, on one hand, we just want to have fun and express ourselves, but then there's Saturn saying, look, you got to take this stuff seriously. So that seriousness is all there to help you enjoy your life more, to build structures for you to enjoy your life more, to express yourself better. And so finding, again, the balance between these things you're working on with self and with your enjoyment, with the enjoyment for others, because the 11th house is what puts a smile on everyone else's face. It's what's best for the group or the community or things larger than self. So finding that balance here, not going to one extreme or the other, and just be patient with any of these 11th house activities over the weekend, in particular with this opposition. We've already been working with this because Mercury is already opposed up to Saturn, Mars is already opposed up to Saturn, but here it's a little bit more personal for all of us because it is the Sun, and it has probably a lot more to do with our self-expression. It may also have to do with your material side of life as well, with your finances, because the Sun rules your 2nd house of Leo. So being patient, being long-term, and just be disciplined with financial matters this weekend as well. And one thing I want to say about this Mercury retrograde is I think a lot of things you guys are going to be reflecting on is probably going to be of that spiritual nature, because Mercury does rule that 12th house of yours and also your 3rd house, how you think about things and how you communicate. So reflect on those as well, those areas as well. Now also over the weekend, we have Mars trining up to the North Node, again about communication. This whole year is about communication. It's about learning, teaching, writing, sharing, getting involved with that 3rd house. It's not very personal because it's the North Node transiting. We don't feel it very personally. But this whole year is the flow for you to move into all of this 3rd house activity and improve how you're thinking, improve how you're communicating, because it's all happening in Virgo, you see. So a really good weekend for all of these things, and I think all of that stuff that's improving on this area that has been is now supporting you over the weekend involving these 11th house matters. So I would definitely do some of that networking, connecting to friends, things of that nature over the weekend. I think you'll find that I think you'll learn a lot in that process because of Mercury. I think you'll learn a lot about your self-expression and patience with that Saturn. And I think also you'll be very supported along your life path with those things as well. So Cancer, I hope you guys have a nice week. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're new to this form of astrology, do check out masteringthezodiac.com, or if you'd like a personal session. And I will see you all next time. Take care.